My and I studio. It's been a little while since I've talked to you from my studio about my work. So we've been very busy teaching in Santa Fe. I hope you saw that little YouTube video we put out. And Chuck's been doing a lot of plaster videos. If you'll remember, I was working on 12 panels pretty much simultaneously. And what happened was I focused on a group of 5 and I got those finished, and I'll show you those. Then I did a single, which is on the table waiting for wax. And then I did these 3 behind me, which I'm very satisfied with, but not quite sure if they're done. There are 3 small pieces remaining that are partially done, and I don't know if those are going to get done in time for the install of the show, which is on October 16th. So I'm not too worried about the small ones. I have racks of paintings that I can hang for the show if I have to. Today I want to discuss, how do we know if a painting is done? And that's an age-old question. People have been asking it forever. There's not a really good answer either. It's different for everyone, and it's different from painting to painting. Now, in this painting, I was working on it before I went to New Mexico to teach the workshop. And when I came back and walked through the door, my heart fluttered. It was excited. I loved seeing the paintings. The paintings are not going to lie to you. And when you haven't seen the paintings for a day or a week or whatever it's been, trust your first impression. Your heart's either going to sink or your heart's going to flutter and float and feel great. So I loved what I saw with these. And then I talked to a designer who was looking for some of my work that had a lot of open space. And these do have a lot of open space, and I appreciate that. It's hard not to fill up all the open space. So if that's the case, I could probably do some delicate finishing work. One of the things that I'm considering, I have this floral shape here, but you can see, hopefully, kind of a shadow here. And what's coming through is a green underneath. I'm thinking of glazing that area with a very, very thin glaze. And the way we do that is you take your polymer medium, usually gloss. It doesn't have to be gloss. This is a matte finish. I think I'm going to use matte. You're going to use at least 80% medium and just 20% paint. And we just put a veil of color on, and I'm going to show you that. Hang on. Okay, I'm going to attempt to mix up this glaze. I'm going to put matte medium. That's probably way too much because it's a small spot I'm doing. What I'm thinking, let's try this sepia. And I want to add a touch of turquoise to it. Put that over there. So I'm going to mix up. I'm going to wet my brush. It's a fairly wide brush. What is this, 2 inches? Get my medium spread out. I'm just adding a touch of color. That sepia kind of tones down my turquoise, light turquoise. Yeah, that's actually a pretty beautiful color. It's a good viscosity. It's a good color. Let's see what we get. These are subtle differences. And I think the subtle differences are pretty important when you get to this stage of the painting when you're almost done. These little tiny glazings, sometimes a highlight here, a low light there, a little shadow there, maybe a little pencil work, little sanding. These things are very important, and they usually take all day for me when I'm finishing a piece. I want to extend this orange. It used to be going all the way across here. And I do want to adjust the color on that a little bit. It's a little bright, and probably get it up here in a little more defined way. Not like an apology, like, oh, that's something I'm trying to cover up. No, it's like, boom, this is my red, here it is. I'm not going to apologize for it. So that's what I'm thinking. And another thing I wanted to show you, say you do the glazing and you want a little deeper, maybe a shadow down below. You can adjust your ratio of paint to medium. Yeah. So just because you do it once doesn't mean you can't go back and make adjustments. If I felt this was too much, at this point I could probably wipe it off. What I usually say to students when they get to the finished stage in the painting is take gloss medium, put a coat of gloss medium on your painting, let it dry thoroughly. Then you can try your finishing work, and if you don't like it, because it has that polymer medium on it, it acts sort of like a whiteboard. And if you're quick enough, you could wipe off what you did and pretty much leave no trace of it. I did not do that. This is a matte finish, therefore it's going to absorb color. If I wipe this off, there's still going to be traces of it there. So that's a hack if you want to save yourself some grief by, making little mistakes at the very end of the painting. That polymer medium coat will allow you to make a mistake and wipe it off if you do it quick enough. Once it dries, you can forget it. So anyway, that's my hack of the day. I want to show you my 5 pieces in here. This is the 5. I call them Dance Calypso, number 1 through 5. I love them because they're about life size. Each one is based roughly on a flower, a large flower, and then they sort of morph into human dancers, and they reminded me of calypso dancers. There's a real levity, a fun quality about the paintings. But calypso music, if you know anything about the history of it, was full of little subtle innuendos, making jabs at the government and the current state of affairs. And you didn't know that by just experiencing the music and the dance right off. It was just kind of fun. But there was more to it than just fun. And I want my paintings also to have more to them than just fun. And I feel that with what's going on in our world now, it can't help but be reflected in the paintings. Now, I don't have to spell it out and say, I'm protesting this, I don't like that, whatever it is. I feel that it just comes through in the work. The work has a levity. It also has kind of an undertone and authority to it, saying, we're strong. We're not going to put up with this. And, we're here. So we're present. That's what I want to say with these paintings. So these are 5. You saw the 3 on the wall. That's 8. I have 1 on the table ready to be waxed. I'll insert a picture of that so you can see it. And then there are 3 small ones that aren't done. But that was my series of 12. I'm not done yet. You can see I've been working on it for, oh my goodness, probably 2 months. And I have a couple more weeks to go before the series is finished. But it's been a fabulous undertaking. I've also done paintings in between. This isn't all I've been working on, by the way. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. I've missed you. And please subscribe. It's so helpful for us. Share, let people know. A lot of my students didn't know about the YouTube videos this week when we were in Santa Fe. It's like, oh yeah, there's a lot of information on those about techniques and theories and philosophies and everything else I have to say. So please do subscribe and share. I'll see you later. There's one thing I always leave you with. Painting is a practice. Practice makes perfect. If you don't do the work, you're not going to progress in your paintings. It just takes a long time to keep doing it, keep making mistakes, trial and error, successes, and pretty soon you've been at it for 45 years and you've got some pretty fun pieces behind you, okay? That's how it works. See you later. Bye.